Good afternoon. In this video we will talk about solving quadratic equations by graphing. Let's write the general formula for a quadratic equation. The general formula is ax squared plus bx plus c equals 0. This is the standard form for a quadratic equation. A, B, and C are numbers. They could be integers, they could be decimals, they could be fractions, they could be radicals, whatever. X is the independent variable. The variable in this equation is x. Now, A is called the leading coefficient. So the number that becomes before x squared, or the leading coefficient, is a number that leads the equation. C is called the y-intercept. Well, y-intercept means where does this graph meets with the y-axis. This is the general formula for quadratic equation. A, B, and C could be positive or negative. Now, if A is positive, then the graph opens upward. So if A is positive, the graph opens upward. This will be the shape of the graph of the quadratic formula. If A is negative, the graph opens downward. So the graph of the quadratic formula will take this shape. This is A positive. This is the graph if A is negative. Now, this point is called the vertex, and this is also called the vertex of the graph. How to graph a quadratic equation given the formula for that quadratic equation? To graph a quadratic equation like 2x squared minus 8 equals 0, we first indicate what are the values of A and B and C. The A is the number before x squared, the leading coefficient. Its value here is 2. The B is the number before x. Can you see x in this equation? No, it's missing, so the B is 0. And the C is the number which comes alone, or the y-intercept, so C is equal to minus 8. Can you predict whether it opens upward or downward, and why? If you look at A, you will find that A is 2. So A is positive. So it opens upward. So the graph will take this shape, and this is the vertex. but we need to find the graph on xy coordinate. So first find the vertex coordinates. The vertex, it has two coordinates, x and y. To find the x, we use the formula minus b over 2a. So x here is equal to what? So x here equals minus, the b is 0, if you look here, over 2 times 2. So the coordinate of x equals 0 divide any number equals 0. So the x coordinate is 0. To find the y coordinate, we replace x in the equation. So y equals, replace 0 in this equation, 2 times 0 squared minus 8, which equals 2 times 0 is 0, minus 8 is minus 8. So the y equals minus 8. So the coordinates of the vertex is minus 8, the y coordinate. Let's complete here. So we were asked to solve by graphing, and to graph, of course, 2x squared minus 8 equals 0. First we found that the vertex equals 0 and minus 8. Now we make a table of values for x and y. X and y. We need to find 3 to 4 values before the vertex and 3 to 4 values after the vertex. The vertex, the x coordinate is 0 and the y is minus 8. We need to find 3 values before. What are the values that comes before 0? Minus 1, minus 2, minus 3. And choose 3 or 4 values after 1, 2, 3, and 4. To find the y, we replace the minus 3. 2 times minus 3 squared minus 8. You will get minus 3 squared is 9, 2 times 9 is 18, minus 8 is 10. So here we have 10. The minus 2. 2 times minus 2, minus 2 squared minus 8. Minus 2 squared is 4. So 2 times 4 is 8, minus 8 equals 0. So here we have 0. Minus 1. 2 times minus 1 squared minus 8. Minus 1 squared is 1. So 2 times 1 is 2. Minus 8 is minus 6. So here we have minus 6. Now we need to replace here 1. 2 times 1 minus 8. 2 times 1 squared. Simplify it, it will be minus 6. Continue replacing here, you will get 0. Complete the 3, it will be 10. The 4, 2 times 4 squared minus 8. 2 times 4 is 16. 4 squared is 16. 2 times 16 is 32. Minus 8 is 24. So here we have 24. Now, after we found the values of x and y, we need to plot it. Look at the values of x. We have, it ranges from -3 to 4. The values of y, it ranges from -6 to 24. So let's make the xy coordinate. Now this is the xy coordinate. The values of x are small, so this is 1, this is 2, this is 3, this is 4, this is 0 of course here, -1, -2, -3, -4. Look at the values of y. This is, oh sorry, this is 1, this is 2, this is 3, this is 4, this is 5, this is 6, this is 7, this is -1, -2, -3, -4, -5, -6. Now we made the xy coordinate. Now we start plotting the points starting from the vertex 0 and -8. 0 and -8, it's here. The graph, as we said, it opens upward because a is positive. The second point, 1 and -6. 1 and -6, it's here. The third point, 2 and 0. 2 and 0, it's here. 2 on the x, 0 on the y. The third point, 3 and 10, it's somewhere up, approximately here. And let's go to the negative values. -1 and -6. -1, -6. -2 and 0. -2 and 0, it's here. -3 and 10. -3 and 10, it's somewhere here. Now let's make the graph starting from the vertex, passing through the points that we just made. As you see, the graph, there is a symmetry in the graph. This is the graph of 2x squared -8 equals 0. What are the solutions? The solutions mean where does the graph meet with the x-axis. As you can see, it cuts the x-axis at x equals -2 and at x equals 2. So there are two solutions for this graph. The first one is x equals -2. The second one is x equals 2. What is the y-intercept? Where does it cut the y-axis? It is y equals -8. It's here, as you can see, at this point. That's all for this question. Another example. Solve by graphing (9 minus x squared equals 0). First, we said we find A, we find B, we find C. What are the values of A, B, and C? A is the coordinate or the coefficient of x squared. It's -1. The B is 0 because there is no x. The C is 9. Okay, does the graph open upward or downward? If you look at the graph, you will find that the A is negative. A is negative. so it opens downward. First we said we need to find the vertex. The vertex, it is a point consisting of x and y. To find the x, we use the formula minus b over 2a. This is a formula that we use all times. So x equals minus b means minus 0 over 2 times a over 2 times a is minus 1. So the vertex is 0. The x coordinate of the vertex is 0. We write 0 here. How we find the y? So x 0. The y, we replace this 0 in the equation 9 minus 0 squared, which becomes 9. So the y is 9. Now we make a table of values containing the vertex in the middle. X is 0, the y is 9. 3 numbers above, 3 numbers below. 1, 2, 3, minus 1, minus 2, minus 3. Sometimes we need to take more than 3 numbers or 4 numbers. It depends on the question. Let's find the y by replacing in the, we find the y replacing in the equation. Replace the minus 3, 9 minus minus 3 squared. Simplify it, it will be 0. The minus 2, 9 minus minus 2 squared. Simplify it, it becomes 5. So here we have 5. The minus 1, 9 minus minus 1 squared, which is 8. So here 8. There will be a symmetry around the two sides. So this is 8, this will be also 8. This is 5, this will be also 5. This is 0, so this will be also 0. Now we need to plot these points in the xy coordinate and find the intersection points with the x-axis. Let's draw the xy coordinate. Now let's start plotting the points on the xy coordinate. 0, 9, 0 and 9, it's here. 1 and 8, 1 and 8, it's approximately here. 2 and 5, 2 and 5, go till 5, it's here. 3 and 0, it's here. The other side, minus 1 and 8, minus 1 and 8, it's approximately here. As we said, there will be a symmetry, so it's the mirror image of the right side. Minus 2 and 5, minus 2 and 5, it's approximately here, and minus 3 and 0. Now let's join these points. Join them. You will get this is the graph of this equation. What are the solutions? Solutions mean where does it cut the x-axis? X equal minus 3. It cuts the x-axis first here and here. So the other point is x equals 3. I hope this is clear till now. We will continue with one more example. Let's take another example. Solve by graphing 2x squared plus 2x equals 12. This is a quadratic equation, but it's not written in standard form. So first, write in standard form. Move the 12 to the other side. It becomes 2x squared plus 2x minus 12 equals 0. The 12 was positive on the right side. When you move it to the left side, it becomes negative. Then find A, find B, find C. The A is the coefficient of x squared, which equals 2. The B is the coefficient of x, which is also 2. The C is the y-intercept, or the alone constant number, which is minus 12. The question now, does this quadratic equation, does the graph opens upward or downward? Look, A is 2, which is positive, so it opens upward. First, we need to find the vertex. The vertex, as we said, it has x coordinate and y coordinate. The x coordinate is always found x equals minus b over 2a. This is a formula that you should know, you should memorize. So x equals minus b minus, the b is 2 over 2a, which is also 2. So simplify it, it becomes minus 1/2. To find the y, we replace the value of x, this one, in the equation. 2 times minus half squared plus 2 times minus half minus 12. Simplify it and you will get the answer. Simplify it, you will get minus 12.5. So the x is minus half, the y is minus 12.5. Now we need to make a table of values for x and y that contains some positive values and some negative values. We choose 3 numbers before the vertex, 3 numbers after the vertex. The vertex is minus half and minus 12.5. Choose integers greater than it, 0, 1, and 2, and 3, and 3 numbers before it, minus 1, minus 2, minus 3. To make it easy for you, if you are wondering how to find these numbers, put the negative half on the number line and indicate the 0. Then choose numbers 1, 2, 3, minus 1, minus 2, minus 3. This will make it easy to you. Now replace to find the y values here. Replace the minus 1 in the equation. 2 times minus 1 squared plus 2 times minus 1 minus 12. Simplify it, you will get minus 12. So minus 1 and minus 12. Replace the minus 2. 2 times minus 2 squared plus 2 times minus 2 minus 12. Simplify it, you will get, this gives you 4. 4 times 2 is 8. 8, this gives you 4 minus 4. So 8 minus 4 is 4 minus 12 is minus 8. So this is minus 8. Replace the minus 3. 2 times minus 3 squared plus 2 times minus 3 minus 12. This gives you 9. 2 times 9 is 18. This is minus 6. 18 minus 6, this is all 18. 18 minus 6 is 12. Minus 12, this is 0. As we said, there will be a symmetry. So this is minus 12. This is minus 12. This is minus 8. This is minus 8. This is 0. So this is 0. No need to find the 3 because actually we got the zeros. This is the these are the solutions. The values where the y equals 0. Now we need to make the xy coordinate and plot these points accordingly. Now if you look at the x values, they are small values. So this is 1, this is 2, this is 3, this is 4, this is 0, this is negative 1, negative 2, negative 3, negative 4. Look at the y values. They are ranging from negative 12 to 12. So let's take each step to be 2. This is 2. This is 4. This is minus 2. This is minus 4. This is minus 6. Minus 8. Minus 10. Minus 12. Minus 14. Now we start plotting from the vertex negative half and negative 12.5. It's approximately here. This is the coordinate of the vertex, and this is of course the axis of symmetry. The second point, 0 and minus 12. 0 and minus 12, it's here. The third point, 1 and minus 8. Let's continue. The third point is 1 and negative 8. 1 and negative 8, it's approximately here. The third point is 2 and 0, it's here. So the graph from this side gonna be like this. Let's graph the left side. Minus 1 and minus 12. Minus 1 and minus 12, it's gonna be here approximately. Minus 2 and minus 8 gonna be like this one. And minus 3 and 0 gonna be here. So graph it. The graphing is approximately, it's not accurate. This is the vertex, of course, and this is the first solution. Solution x equals negative 3. This is the second solution, x equals 2. The solutions are the intersection points with the x-axis. And of course the y-intercept, no need to find it from the graph. It can be found directly from the coefficient. It's minus 12 from the constant value. This is the solution for this equation. So I hope it's clear till now. I'll give you one more exercise. Solve by graphing x times 1 minus x equals 0. This is a quadratic equation but it's written in factored form. The question here is to solve by graphing, actually, not by factoring. So we need to write in standard form. In standard form. To write in standard form, we need to multiply it. So x times 1, x times minus x. X times 1 gives x, minus x squared equals 0. Now it's written in standard form, but it needs to be rearranged actually to be in standard form. Minus x squared plus x equals 0. What are the values of a, b, and c? The a is minus 1. The number that comes before x squared is minus 1. The b is 1, the coefficient of x, and the c is the y-intercept, or the number that appears alone, which is 0 in this question. No c. It should be here, but it's missing. So the a, b, and c, we found them now. Now we need to find the vertex. The vertex, we said it's x and y. To find x, we use the formula minus b over 2a, which is minus 1 over 2 times minus 1. Replace it, it becomes half. So the x is half. Find the y by replacing the half in the equation. Minus half square plus half, we replace in this equation, of course, which becomes minus quarter plus half, which is 1/4. So the y is a quarter. Now, after we found the vertex, we need to make table of values for some values of x and some values of y. X, the vertex in the middle, and 3 numbers above it. Half in the middle, and the y is quarter, of course. Choose numbers greater than x directly. 1, 2, and 3. 3 numbers below it, 0, minus 1, minus 2. Now we need to find y. Find it. I'll give you the answer directly. Okay, so now we found the values of x and y. We need to plot them. Look at values of x. They range from minus 2 to 3. The values of y from 0 or from 1/4 to minus 6. So most values will be below the x-axis. Let's make the xy coordinate. Now, after we found the points and we drew the xy coordinate, we need to plot the points starting from the vertex 1/2 and 1/4. X is 1/2, the y is 1/4, is approximately here. It's opening downward, of course, because it's negative. X squared is negative. 1 and 0. 1 and 0 is here. 2 and minus 2, it's approximately here. 3 and negative 6. 3 and negative 6, it's approximately here. The other side. 0 and 0, it's here. 1 and negative 2, negative 1 and negative 2, which is here. Negative 2 and negative 6, which is approximately here also. Now join the points, taking in consideration to pass through the vertex. So this is the first solution, this is the second solution. Solutions are x equals 0 and x equals 1. The question now, can we find the solutions without graphing? Actually we can, by looking at the y coordinate. Where does it equal 0? This is the first y, 0. This is the second y, 0. So what is the corresponding x? 0. The corresponding x here is 1. So 0 and 1. But the question is by graphing. The question wants you to graph. You need to graph. And finally, I hope that you benefit from all these examples. Follow us on my YouTube channel, Math Lessons for All, and in Arabic, دروس في الرياضيات للجميع. Wishing you all the best all times. Good luck. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.